On checking the trail cam, the visits seem to be fairly varied, so here are some very early morning starts. Warning, this is a pest control video showing vermin being legally controlled here in the UK. If you're not comfortable watching this content, please switch off now. You have been warned. I know from previous experience on this residential perm that when the greys are coming down to the feeder, they can sometimes be very fidgety and nervous when approaching, so I'll just use a little bit of patience and wait for them to settle. Well, I'm back out on me local perm. I've been here since just after 6 o'clock and got set up. The first one came within about a quarter of an hour. It was up and down a tree adjacent to where the feeder is, and then decided to go at the feeder eventually. So I've just dropped that one. So we'll see how the rest of the morning goes. Well, that was an hour and a half to wait for number 2 to arrive. That just appeared on the feeder while I was sitting. It must have come down the back of the feeder tree and just gone straight onto the feeder. Flipped the lid and sat. Luckily enough, it sat long enough for us to get my rifle ready and take the shot. Well, that was another long wait, 45 minutes this time for number 3. I saw one earlier on coming down one of the trees behind, about 30 yards away, but it never arrived. And then this one has just come from the right hand side, looking underneath the leaves, and then eventually went onto the feeder, but it went straight onto the roof, and it was just looking straight down at the dead grey underneath. So I just decided to take a quick shot and get rid of that one as well. Since I shot 6 the last time I was here on the 20th of March, I've been keeping an eye on the trail cam and topping up the peanut feeder. I've still been seeing 1 or 2 and occasionally 3 kicking about. So I was hoping for 2 or 3 this morning. Basically, I've got 3. It's getting on for 10 o'clock now, so I'm just going to call it a day as I've got other stuff to do. I've got a couple of feeders to fill up, and I've got another red squirrel feeder to put up next to the one that we're currently using, because we are getting a few reds visiting now. So having 2 feeders up will stop any squabbling, hopefully. Anyway, that's the plan. After this Jay sat on my GoPro for the second time, I decided to pop out and reset the GoPro. It's now 6 days later, and after checking the trail cam footage, I decided to pop back out and have another go. Unfortunately, it ended up being another quiet morning. If you live in the County Durham area, please pop in to Wheatley Hill Pet and Corn and help support small local businesses. I'm back out on a permission that I haven't shot for quite some time. I was hoping for it to be busy, but unfortunately it wasn't quite the case. Well, only half an hour to wait, and the first one came climbing down the feeder tree, went to the flip lid, took a seed, and then went back on to the roof of the feeder. It was sitting slightly diagonally on, so I just aimed just to the right of the eye, and down it went. Hopefully it's going to be a profitable morning this morning, but we'll have to wait and see. The kit I'm using this morning is again the BRK Ghost with the Arken Zulus 5 to 20 on top. I'm using the Rangemaster Sovereign Hunter pellets. I find that they are the most accurate in this rifle, so I'm going to pretty much stick with them unless it changes. Here comes number 2 of the morning. If you look closely round where the flip lid is, you can see the amount of repairs I've had to do due to greys chewing around the area when the feed is empty. I had to put a new feeder tray in, but what I did is I reinforced the knockout holes by aralditing 2 penny pieces over the edges. Seems to do the trick. And here is the last one of the morning. Now, as you can see, this grey was having a right old good inspect of its fallen brethren underneath before finally climbing up to the feeder. As you can hear in the recording, the wind is starting to get up, so I decided to give it another hour just in case anything else arrived at the feeder, but unfortunately it didn't. Well, sadly that's it. Only 3 this morning. Quiet morning unfortunately, but never mind. I've got another feeder to shoot possibly later on over the weekend, but we'll see what happens with that one as well. But like I say, quiet morning this morning here, so that's it. If you enjoyed watching the video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to help the channel grow. In the meantime, here's 2 from the archive for you to watch.